There are moments at number 4 where it all gets a bit too much. It's our first home and we're renovating it all ourselves. So demolishing rooms, dealing with black mould and fixing our roof is all new to us. But we have big dreams for this house and we're currently dreaming of our bathroom layout. But before we can redesign our floor plan, we need to rebuild this back wall. We have just spent 2 days doing the scariest job of the reno, pulling it down, and we've just realised that we've made a massive mess downstairs that needs shifting swiftly in time so the brickies can have access on site at 7 AM the next morning. We worked through until we dropped and woke up at 5 AM to continue getting the place up to standard. After a long night of cleaning, we were happy to hand the baton of the day to the bricklaying team, who set to work bricking up the back wall again. We took the opportunity to install a cavity wall with insulation, centralised the window and made it much bigger, giving it a focal point and giving the illusion of a bigger room. It took the team 2 days to finish bricking up the back wall, and now that it's sturdy, we just need to look at making it watertight along with the rest of the back of the house. Ceilings in the back half of the house are definitely the worst ceilings in the house. You can see there's a big hole in the ceiling right here. There's a water storage tank right above that. So I think at some point there's been a major leak in the past. One thing we've been wondering, well, mainly Paloma's been wondering, is about vaulting the ceiling in this back bedroom. I'm sure there's pros and cons to vaulting the ceiling. But the first thing is we're going to have to scope out what state it is up there, what the rafters and the joists are like. There's tons of old insulation, and who knows what else that we're going to find out. Conveniently, Paloma's not here for the weekend, so it looks like it's up to me to get up there and see what's going on. So no one wants to be all itchy, so I'm getting kitted up. I'm going to go have a look. Wish me luck. Should probably get a mask for this one.
Tight squeeze up here.
Okay, so that's the insulation pretty much removed. There is still some up there, but I've just found out it is cellulose loose fill insulation, which is actually recycled newspaper, non-toxic, so I feel pretty confident that it's safe enough to knock down at this state. I'm obviously still going to wear the gear anyway because there is some rock wool up there, but who's ready for some carnage? Well, there's our exposed ceiling. So it appears this wall, and this wall is a stud wall. We do have plans to knock these down and rearrange the setup of the floor plan on this side of the house. So, should we knock down some walls? Well, after a brew anyway. Oh, I thought probably that in a bit more light version there. We got the old window frame still from when we knocked out the back wall. There's quite a lot of crap in the bathroom and quite a lot of crap in where the old water storage heater is, so Let's have a little clear around. Tools today that I have is a face mask, some gloves, and 2 sledgehammers. And I'll probably need a load of bin bags actually, won't I? And some bin bags. Let's go. How funny is this? This lovely bathroom stud wall. It's partially made out of sellotape. This was our old water storage tank, which we ripped that out a while back. I do believe we might be able to catch this in with our copper and lead, but if you know whether we can or can't, do let us know. I think that's all the cleaning up I'm going to need to do, so let's do this. Here's Johnny. Well, I'm not sure whether it's a good or a bad thing, but there doesn't actually seem to be any insulation in the walls. Interesting. So, semi expected something like this, but the bath is opposite this stud wall. The bath wasn't sealed very well when it was installed decades ago. And the water, which laps over the side, literally laps into the walls and the floors. And as you can see, there's some quite nasty looking mould, so I'm not going to keep my mask off for very long, but seal your baths, people. That's all I've got to say.
And then I just leave it. So there's a slight possibility that this did not match up. Now remember that I was 6, so everyone was tall. She was tall. She was
to find out who this person is, because she could be.
Now that Chris has taken all his reno frustrations out on the walls, we have to start thinking about how we want this space to look.
So we're going to be extending this space out by 2.4 to 2.3 metres, so it's basically going to be a square. And we're going to try and put a 4-piece suite all in here. So both me and Chris love showers, have showers every day. So we really want a walk-in shower, and I personally can't stand the baths that have a shower in them. I just always think I'm going to break my neck, and it's just not good. So there were 2 options that we initially came up with. The first one was where we tried to fit loads of things in here at the same time, having a shower, walk-in shower here, with a bathtub along this back wall, with a nice statement window in the middle of it, then a sink with storage underneath it, and then the toilet here. Fits everything in, but we're not sure if it was a little bit too cramped, and you don't really get that spacious shower that we kind of like. Second option, you walk in, you'd have a really double-sized vanity here, your toilet here, and then a big walk-in wet room shower here. So you've got loads of space to kind of do aerobics in the shower.
A lot of people had suggested a Japanese soaking tub instead of a full-size bath, so we had to play around to see how that would work in the space. By doing this, we allow for the vanity to be larger without losing out completely on a tub. However, having never used a tub like this before, we've got no idea if they're as useful as a normal bathtub, or do the tall sides hinder uses like washing dogs and children for future owners. We need to start putting this room back together pretty swiftly, so a decision needs to be made and we need your help. Which options would you go for? A full-size bath, Japanese soaking tub, or no tub at all? Let us know your thoughts because we are bamboozled. But before we can even think about making this place look pretty, we need to ensure this roof is watertight first. Our builder had built the frame and secured it in place for me, so I picked up the job by adding the waterproof breathable membrane. I started overlapping it by 150ml on top of the original membrane to make sure it was completely waterproof. Next, I started extending the battens across the newly laid membrane so that the new tiles had something to be attached to. Once I'd finished, I started laying my roof tiles, cutting the pieces to size as needed, while trying to stop things from falling 2 floors down. Alright. This job is an example of one of those jobs that I had never really contemplated doing myself. That's the thing about how this renovation has evolved. We went into this knowing nothing, but had a strong willingness to learn. We thought we could do the painting and maybe at a stretch the flooring, but here we are now, foundations for the extensions dug and poured by ourselves and fixing a hole in a roof that we had created by pulling down a chimney on our own. This really is down to the tradespeople that we've worked with and their willingness to teach us. In reality, we see them more as friends than contractors, and having a team of people who believe us capable of learning as we go under careful guidance has been the most valuable part of this entire build. One that we'll always be grateful for. I continued to add 2 nails to each tile, ensuring the copper rivets were placed and securing to the bottom of each of them. So we finished this. This is all the new roof. We still need to take this ridge off and put a new ridge kit in, which is on order. But for now, it's watertight. It's looking good, hey? Job well done.
Next up, where all systems go on the steels in the kitchen, but before we can get cracking with that, we need to empty this room so it's in tip-top shape for our builder to be able to work safely in the area. Let's go.